Hey everyone, this is an aircraft carrier replay from myself, not Vader, and one quick note is when my initial pathing, I first send my aircraft carrier more toward E3 to have my second round of planes ready to go right near the entrance. You can see how this scrub performs in the Ranger here on Killer Whale. This is probably my best game that I had in the Ranger on this scenario.
Attack the enemy naval base from the specified directions.
Now I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Standard procedure. Go east, west a little bit, avoid the fort.
Enemy force detected.
I'm generally not as ambitious and as practiced, so I don't generally approach to sink the destroyer. And if you saw my Furious replay, you'll know that I like to spot everything and get everything moving. Whether that is desirable with a team of random pickup teammates is up to your preference, as usually I'm playing with at least a partial division, as you see here.
Approaching target.
And getting everything started moving
Taking fire.
lets everything get finished quicker. As you can see, my aircraft carrier is right near the south entrance, and I can send planes in right away. This is something you can keep in mind for your own runs in Killer Whale with an aircraft carrier. But I also send it north to go inside the center entrance, as you can see on the minimap right now.
We're under attack.
One of the main things you want to do, obviously with an aircraft carrier, is get dots damage, or damage over time.
Engaging enemy.
Typically that requires you to first activate the enemy damage control.
Fighter airborne.
And the drop with fires, like the one I do here, will do that.
Engaging enemy. We're under attack. Engaging enemy. We're under attack.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a fire, but one of my teammates did get a fire, and that Nassau is burning for the whole duration of the fire. Now, don't forget one thing in Killer Whale, which also applies, is the transports for some reason give you a lot of experience. And here, playing with a division, at least a partial division, I do have the luxury of doing some damage to transports. which I did also in the Furious.
Approaching target. We are under attack. Taking fire.
As you see here, the Conic Albert is taking damage from flooding, the damage over time I was talking about earlier, as someone already activated its damage control.
Taking fire.
Now, one difference between Vader and myself is he constantly uses torpedoes, but I'm fine with using dive bombers as well. What you like to use is obviously up to you.
Taking fire.
And at least with switching planes, you can still get decent damage and always have a full squadron ready when you use the next group of planes.
We're under attack. Approach. We're under attack.
Now, one thing to note with an aircraft carrier, you can use the border to turn yourself around really quickly, like I did just there.
Approaching target. We're under attack.
And there is a major difference between Ranger and Furious dive bombers.
Complete. Retreat to the designated area.
The main difference is
Airborne.
pen and how much time you have to drop for your dive bombs, which is significantly different. And one thing to note, you can always set your aircraft carrier's course by hitting M and going to the large map, like I did just now, whether you're using planes or not. Speed up a little bit as I'm going for the Kawachi.
Fighter airborne. Taking fire. Approaching target.
Now keep in mind when you're dropping,
Taking fire.
you can take into account the turns that your target is making to get some better drops, like I did there.
Approaching target. We are under attack.
And as you can tell, I've forced the Kawachi to use its damage control.
Taking fire.
was taking flooding damage.
Airborne.
And with that drop, more flooding, and it's going to keep taking more flooding damage.
Reconnaissance reporting. The second enemy reinforcement party is approaching.
So it's sunk.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Here I leave the Kohlberg to my teammates, as I don't think it's worth it to go after it. So right now I'm just circling my planes, waiting for the Ishizuchi at 757. And yes, I do know the spawn times of all the ships. And if you want to watch my discussion videos, you can see what they are for yourself as well. Another example of using the border to turn yourself around really quickly.
Engaging enemy. We're under attack.
Having forced the Ishi to damage control the first time, now it has fires, 3 to be exact, doing more dot damage.
Fighter returning to ship. Engaging enemy. Taking fire.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
Now the next spawn is at 627. I'm not too concerned with the Tenryu, and my teammate in the Ismail
Maintaining present course.
Reconnaissance reporting.
should be able to take it out easily by himself.
Fighter airborne. We are under attack.
Now all the objectives, stars objectives, have been accomplished with the first and second wave sunk,
Approaching target.
and the 2 battleships sunk already. So now it's just a matter of damage farming.
Taking fire.
Another example of quickly turning with the border. Not that it's much help here. And I decide to swap squadrons again.
Maintaining present course.
And the next spawn is at 342. So gonna speed it up as I'm just circling and waiting for it.
Battle ends in 5 minutes. Reconnaissance reporting. The 4th enemy reinforcement party is approaching.
Engaging enemy.
Now, more than likely, Pico has
We're
made
under
the
attack.
conic DC, but I managed to just finish it anyway. With not much else to do with my dive bombers,
Approaching target.
I gave it a try at attacking the T-22 and managed to land a hit. Next spawn is at 142.
Maintaining
Gonna
present
speed up
course.
again.
fire. Engaging enemy. We're under attack. Reconnaissance reporting. The 5th enemy reinforcement party is
Obviously, I haven't had too much practice dropping on cruisers and destroyers.
taking fire. Engaging enemy. Taking fire.
With the last plane, I do hit the Bayern, and I do make it flood, and for some reason, I don't know why, it doesn't decide to damage control it.
Was carried out successfully.
What do you think of this? I consider myself a scrub, although I've probably been improving. Let me know what you think, and it'd be interesting to see how well someone else does if you want to send me a replay. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.